Welcome to the Explainer. You know, we're so often taught that aging just means this inevitable, slow decline. We're told that stiff joints, chronic diseases, and just generally losing your energy are unavoidable parts of getting older. But the research we're unpacking today completely flips that on its head. It reveals that your body is actually sitting on a massive, untapped secret for true regeneration. Your health isn't just predetermined by your genes, and as you'll see, you have way more control than you've been led to believe.
Okay, let's dive into this. 70 million. That is the exact number of stem cells sitting inside your body right now, just totally dormant, waiting for instructions. I mean, most people think stem cells are this crazy expensive thing you have to pay thousands of dollars for at some exotic clinic, right? But the truth is, you literally already own them. Think of these stem cells like your body's microscopic construction crew. When we're young, this crew is absolutely massive, and they're constantly on patrol. Blood vessel gets stiff, they rebuild it. Cartilage wearing down, they reinforce it. But as we age, that crew doesn't actually disappear. Actually, scratch that. It's more like they just retreat to the break room and fall fast asleep. They just need a biological alarm bell to wake them up and get them back on the job site. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what rings that alarm bell. Researchers looked at 60-year-old patients with established heart disease. So we're talking about folks with hardened arteries and stiff blood vessels. They simply gave them a daily habit of high cacao dark chocolate for 30 days. The result? Their circulating stem cells nearly doubled. And those cells didn't just float around aimlessly, they homed in on the damage and measurably reversed the arterial stiffness. It's wild. So how on earth does food actually accomplish this? Well, the research points to 4 distinct biological pathways to heal you from the inside out. We've got stem cell mobilization, dimming inflammation, angiogenesis, and gut microbiome activation. Let's break down exactly how each of these pathways works in your body. Pathway number 1 is mobilization. When you eat plant compounds called proanthocyanidins, which by the way are heavily concentrated in high cacao dark chocolate, they enter your bloodstream and literally send a chemical text message straight to your bone marrow where those stem cells are stored. It's basically an alert telling your stem cell fire department to deploy out of the bone marrow and head straight to the areas with microdamage. The second pathway is all about dimming inflammation. It's absolutely crucial to understand the difference here. Normal, good inflammation is a lot like hotel housekeeping, temporarily cleaning up a room after you scrape your knee. They clean up the mess and then they leave. But chronic inflammation? That's when housekeeping stays forever and literally starts tearing up the furniture. Foods like berries and pomegranates act as a dimmer switch. They keep that inflammation at a productive, healing level without letting it become chronic. Our third pathway is angiogenesis. This is your body's ability to create brand new blood vessels. There was this fascinating study at a Harvard Medical School that found introducing concentrated berry extracts to aging subjects increased the growth of new capillaries by an astounding 40%. 40%! That means a massive surge of vital oxygen and nutrients is being delivered directly to starving, aging tissues that just didn't have a healthy blood supply before. The fourth and final pathway takes us right down into the gut. Picture a garden hose cut in half. The thick outer wall of that hose represents where a massive 70% of your immune cells actually live. The empty center of the hose is where your gut bacteria hang out. And they're literally shouting instructions through that thin wall to your immune system, dictating whether your body stays perfectly calm or gets highly inflamed. So, the crucial point is this beautiful double benefit you get from the right foods. When you eat a cup of blueberries, the anthocyanins wake up your stem cells directly. And they feed those beneficial gut bacteria. In response, those bacteria produce a short-chain fatty acid called butyrate. Studies out of Stanford show that butyrate can drop your inflammatory markers by up to 60%. It is just an awe-inspiring, compounding effect of healing.
All right, let's transition into how you actually apply this. Section 1, the grocery store protocol.
Here is your master list. Listen, you do not need an extreme diet overhaul. You definitely don't need to give up everything you love. You just need to consistently add these specific foods to your daily life. We're talking 1 cup of mixed berries, 2 small squares of 70% or higher dark chocolate, 2 or more cups of tea, 1 to 2 kiwis, mushrooms 4 times a week, a daily avocado, and 1 serving of pomegranate. Simple as that. But wait, before we go any further down that list, I have a massive warning for you if you're a tea or coffee drinker. You've got to keep the dairy out of your mug. Dairy fat forms these microscopic little bubbles that trap up to 80% of those amazing healing polyphenols. It literally stops your body from absorbing them. So if you really need a splash of milk to lighten your tea or coffee, you must absolutely use a plant-based alternative like almond or soy milk instead.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the speed at which these foods begin working. Just 24 hours. It only takes 24 hours for the heavy dose of fiber and vitamin C in 2 kiwis to rapidly shift your gut microbiome composition towards significantly healthier bacterial strains. I mean, talk about an immediate return on your investment. And please, whatever you do, don't underestimate the superpowers of mushrooms. You know, people often assume that because mushrooms get kind of soft when cooked, they lose all their nutrition. But surprisingly, the heat just breaks down the fibers slightly, and they retain highly bioavailable beta-glucan. Plus, they are literally the absolute highest dietary source of ergothioneine, which is a crucial antioxidant your body absolutely cannot produce on its own.
Pomegranates also have a very cool, unique trick up their sleeve. They contain one of the most potent antioxidants ever measured, called punicolagen. When your gut bacteria metabolize it, they create a completely new compound called urolithin A. This has been shown to directly improve your cellular and mitochondrial function. It's basically like giving your aging cells a brand new lease on life.
Okay, so knowing the foods is only half the battle. Let's move into section 2, rules for lasting results.
Timing matters immensely here because your body does its best repair work while you sleep. So, you want to finish your dark chocolate and tea by 4 p.m., try to eat a light dinner by 6 p.m., and fast for at least 3 hours before bed. Why? Because if your digestive system is up working overtime to process a heavy meal late at night, it redirects vital energy right away from that amazing overnight stem cell activity we want.
You also really need proper hydration to fuel all this cellular repair. Aim for pale yellow urine as a baseline, but please ditch the plastic bottles immediately. Drink from glass, stainless steel, or just filtered tap water. We are now discovering microplastics deep in human tissue, including the brain, and plastic bottles are a huge, major source of that toxic exposure.
Let's move to and see how this builds over time. Consistency is your absolute best friend here. In just one day, your gut microbiome begins shifting to healthy strains. In 30 days, you'll see a measurable doubling of circulating stem cells. And by 90 days, you are looking at pronounced relief from chronic symptoms, far better energy, and genuine inside-out tissue repair.
Which leaves us with one incredibly empowering question to ponder based on all this science. You have the literal ability to wake up 70 million dormant repair cells and completely shift your body's baseline function. So, if aging is a choice you make at the grocery store, what's in your cart today? Make the choice to activate your healing, and we will see you on the next one.